Welcome back to another video. So before you get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now this week was pretty mid, I must say, but the Eagles did play twice against the Cowboys and Bears, which should have been wins for both of the games, and that should have brought the record up to 10-2, but it didn't, and they're now 8-4. They lost to the Cowboys and Bears. I don't know how, but this offense needs to step it up, and the defense against the Bears needs to step it up. But let's start with the Cowboys. So with the Cowboys, they were up 21-0 after the first half. That is great, right? Then you would expect, oh yeah, they'll just score more and win the game, right? Nope, they scored 0 points in the second half and ended up losing 24-21. What? Like, how do you give up 24 points in the second half? And how do you not score any points in that second half as well? Just awful, man. And then they lost to the Bears because we were down one. It was 10-9 at one point in the third quarter because A.J. Brown scored a touchdown and we missed the extra point. Jake Elliott, work on your kicking, man. It's extra points. You should not be missing those. And then that forced the offense to go for two after they scored another touchdown, which also went to A.J. Brown, and they missed it. And then that basically was game. They lost 24-15. And Jalen also fumbled that game and threw an interception, which I think was the most turnovers in a game he has had. So, the most turnovers in a game this season for him. And Jalen Hurts also made NFL history against the Cowboys by becoming the only QB since 1970 with 7+ rushing touchdowns in 5 consecutive seasons. So good for him on being a part of NFL history. Now Andrew Makuba, our rookie cornerback or safety, whatever you want to call him, he is going to be out for a decent amount of time with a fractured leg. So I hope he can come back soon because I am not trying to have Adoree Jackson in. Well, I don't mind Sidney Brown, but I'm not trying to have Adoree Jackson play for the Eagles because he sucks. He needs to leave. And you know who else needs to leave? Kevin Patullo. His play calling sucks. I hope he gets fired because the Eagles' offense is so predictable. Even C.J. Gardner-Johnson knew it was predictable. Like, that's how bad they are. And then, here are the stats from the Cowboys game. Jalen Hurts, 27 for 39 with a passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, and 33 rush yards. Saquon Barkley, 10 rush attempts for 22 yards and 52 receiving yards. That is terrible. I know it's terrible, terrible, terrible. He should be averaging at least over 50 yards. Yet he can't even do that. And then A.J. Brown, 8 receptions for 110 yards and a touchdown. Devontae Smith, 6 receptions for 89 yards. This picture right here was the best catch of the year. I am not joking. It was insane. And then against the Bears, Jalen Hurts, 19 for 34, 230 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, a pick, and a fumble. 2 turnovers, both on him. The fumble was off the tush push, and he literally just got stripped, which is terrible. Like, how do you manage to do that? Then Saquon Barkley finally got over 50 yards. He got 56 yards on 13 rush attempts. A.J. Brown got 10 receptions for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Devontae Smith did not have a good game with 5 receptions for 48 yards. Then Jake Elliott, 1 for 2 on field goals and 0 for 1 on extra point attempts. And they scored 0 points in the second half against the Cowboys. Like, what are they doing, man? And then here's a crazy stat, which this shows you how bad Kevin Patullo is. In 9 of the 12 games, the Eagles have scored one time in either the first half or the second half, meaning they've either scored a touchdown or a field goal in one of the halves, which is terrible. Because let's say against, like just now, last game against the Bears, the final score was 24-15 Bears. In the first half, they scored 3 points, and then the rest of the game they scored 12 points. So in that first half, we played awful, only getting a field goal. Now, that's just bad offense by the Eagles. And to make matters worse for the Sixers, they went 1-2, beating the Brooklyn Nets, who suck. And they ended up losing to the Orlando Magic by 41 points. The final score of that game was 144-103. And then they lost to the Heat, which is like, how do you lose to the Heat? But it's like, I didn't think they'd lose by 40 to the Magic, but they did have VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre, and Joel Embiid and Paul George hurt that game. So basically, that whole starting lineup was hurt. And then Paul George did come back last game, and he played well. But Jared McCain is back. He had 15 points against the Magic and Heat, and he just scored 20 points against the Brooklyn Nets. He is playing amazing. And then Maxey is third in the league with 31.7 points per game, and he is first in the league with 40 minutes per game. Now, I do like the points, but the minutes I think are a bit too high because he's basically playing the whole entire game. Like, he needs a break somewhere in between, but it's Nick Nurse's decision, not mine. And the Sixers are eliminated from the NBA Cup. They went defeated. They did not win a singular game in the NBA Cup. But you see, that doesn't matter to me because I want them to at least make the playoffs and make it past the second round. That is what I hope they do for this season. And Andre Drummond against the Nets last game, he exited the game with a right knee sprain. So hopefully he doesn't end up like Embiid, and hopefully we don't have two centers on our team with broken knees. And their next game will be Sunday, November 30th at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern against the Atlanta Hawks, who are 12-8, and the Sixers are 10-8 as of now. And yeah, that's the video for this week. See you guys in the next one.